It seems I have been exposed to a virus.
China!
Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
China!
This is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy.
Toilet paper.
I don't use it.
That news, bro. Ran out of toilet paper.
What is going on here?
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that out.
So yesterday I went on my Instagram and I asked people what are the struggles that they're dealing with in quarantine. And so today we're going to be talking about those different topics. It's called Quarantine Conversations.
Put on a seatbelt. We don't know what's about to happen. I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know. I just signed up for this. And there's the person with the gun to the right of me. If I don't do this video, I'm out. So just
The only reason Nate did this video is because I hired a hitman. So just to start out on a light note, would you rather be quarantined for the rest of your life, or every time you go out, you have to be 6 feet away from people and wear a mask, like for the rest of your life? And if you move any closer than 6 feet, you just get like repelled into the opposite direction.
I'm pretty introverted, so like I'm in my room a lot by myself, but I do like need to be around people eventually, so I will go out. So like, and then the other part where you said like always 6 feet apart or you get repelled.
You get like blowing into the other
you
guy.
get force pushed like it's Star Wars or something. Like I don't know. Like
It's like
I
you
like.
step and it.
It depends on the mask. Some masks look fine. I could wear any mask I want. Batman, Spider-Man. You
Just
didn't even
on your whole face.
If I am forced to wear a mask every single day of my life, you know I'm gonna make the best of it. I would be a professional tagger, so that if someone else is it, I can never get tagged. Because if they get 6 feet close to me, I'm gonna be repelled. So I'm gonna be always the winner. I'm gonna always be on top, and I'm gonna make a lot of money doing professional tag. You know, so it's like it works out.
Okay. So on Instagram, the first response that I got to my question, what are the struggles you've been dealing with during quarantine, was increased anxiety. And I thought it was so cool that it was the first one, because for the first time in ever, I've been dealing with anxiety.
Welcome to the rest of the world. Welcome to
the club!
Literally, welcome to everyone. Everybody just locked into their houses and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of people get anxious when they actually realize who they are. You're in a house alone with your thoughts and you don't have the distractions that you used to. Yeah, you got your Instagram and your YouTube, but those only last so long before the thoughts keep coming back, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's almost like you got to relearn yourself or learn yourself for the first time, because you get anxiety over things that you have yet to completely deal with. That's why distractions are so popular.
Yeah, thinking about things that you haven't dealt with, or like addressing feelings that like just kind of sit inside of you that you're like, I'll push that off till later. And most of us don't even like ourselves, and so we're just with ourselves and we're like, wow, I hate this person.
Right. So wait, talk about the time you had anxiety. I want to know about this.
Ew, I don't wanna.
I guess anxiety for me hasn't changed. I guess it's not about where I am or like what particular situation I'm put in. It's more so about like what is already in my mind and has been in my mind for as long as I have been alive. Because I take my mind with me wherever I go, no matter what situation. And there are people who can be in the same situation as me and not have anxiety because their mind is in a different place. Like for me, my anxiety has not heightened. You know, it did give my anxiety a different perspective, because I haven't really been anxious about getting like the virus. I don't know. I've been watching Outer Banks, you know, like I'm not.
Okay, side note, what do you think of that show?
Yo,
Have you finished it?
it's great. I did finish it. First off, I just want to say I don't understand how John B is 16 years old.
Spoiler.
How's that a spoiler? Literally, it was like,
Spoiler!
I don't know. I feel like I have this weird thing about me where like I'm just like overly chill about things. Like somebody could literally slap me in the face and it's not like I would wimp out about it. It's just like I would move on so fast. Like I don't get easily angered or easily feared about things. I promise I don't do drugs. I only get anxious about like what other people think about me. Like if I'm about to do something on a stage or if I'm about to like present something, like I want it to be great. The way that people view me shouldn't be as important to me as it is.
Yeah.
If people don't see me as the guy that I imagine myself to be, then it can make me sad.
Another person said being unauthentic with like trying to keep up and connect with people. The unauthentic, like keep up with people when it's not real, they kind of feel like it's their Christian duty. Like I should reach out to you and I should talk to you, but it's not genuine. They're kind of just doing it.
Yeah.
That makes me mad. It hurts me more than if they had just left me alone.
That's a hard topic because sometimes you can't force a genuine connection in the sense of like we click, but it doesn't mean you don't care for them. Because I feel like love sometimes is more real whenever it's harder. Because like if you only love somebody because it's like, oh wow, they're so easy to love. Like we get along so easily, we never argue. It's always so easy. Like I can do this all day. But whenever it becomes hard and you have to make sacrifice, like I don't really want to reach out to this person. But if you do it anyways, I think that sacrifice and that kind of sacrifice is that's love sacrifice.
Yeah, that's love.
And I understand like
you have some people that piss you off that you're like you don't that annoy the crap out of you, but like you love them anyways.
I think like to answer that person's question or concern is there's a difference between connection and love, because just because you don't connect with somebody doesn't mean you can't love them. And perhaps I'll word it like this. Maybe that person in your life isn't someone who is going to be your close-knit person in life, but maybe that's just somebody that God's called you to shepherd, because your relationship with your friends are always going to be different than your relationship with your sheep, you know, metaphorically.
Yeah.
If you are going out of your way to call this person, even when you don't want to, and just ask them how they're doing and loving on them, why would you feel bad about that? Like, don't feel bad about doing something good. Like,
Yeah.
Thank God that you don't have to die on a cross and all you have to do is make a phone call. That's all I got to say. We have to talk about this. All right.
Purity.
You go first.
I don't wanna. You're the guest. Okay, so with the purity, how should we talk about this? How should we?
We should be real. How far do we want to go? How far do we want to go?
Okay, so purity in regards to what? Because purity doesn't have to mean just frickle frackling.
What do you think that people think when they hear purity?
Well, yeah.
So let's not just water it down like we don't know what they are asking.
True. Okay. Don't you love how Christians have such a hard time talking about purity, and the world does an interesting job at it?
All right, dealing with purity. I mean, like, obviously, like, let's just be real. Whenever you're in a place where you're confined, thoughts are more rampant, and so depending on where your heart is, it's just going to escalate during this time. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about a certain particular thing that is impure sometimes, and now that you're not at that job or you're not hanging out with your friends, you're not doing what you usually do, it's probably escalated because you're spending more time with your thoughts than you are spending time doing what you used to do.
Yeah.
The idea is, like, if you're struggling with purity right now, which a lot of people probably are, if we're being real, I have struggled with purity. I struggle with purity anyways. So why would it not be a struggle now just because there's a quarantine, you know?
I decided to Google purity. There's a couple different stuff that showed up. Purity of the soul.
Wow.
That's interesting. Wow.
That's-
Right? That's what I was like, And then purity, just the normal definition is freedom from contamination or alteration, freedom from immortality, especially of a sexual nature. So that's like literally like in the definition, freedom for immortality, especially of a sexual nature. So that's interesting. I think like oftentimes you can kind of just like you said, in quarantine, it's everything feels so much longer because we're isolated. There's nothing really to watch all that much because you've watched everything. The distractions to keep you from falling in impurity, they're diminishing. So you're starting to, like you said, face the real you. And the matter of the fact is, many of us are impure. And so when we face ourselves, what we get is impurity. And those come off as sexual thoughts. And we're so alone for so long. We're like, man, why am I thinking all these thoughts? Why am I doing all these things? And the matter of the fact is because that's in us.
I think the greatest advice I could give to that person is like, just make sure filling yourself up with the things that won't lead you to be tempted even more or to think of anything that falls into impurity. Like if you literally surround yourself with maybe even something productive, what I'm saying is what you are doing right now isn't working, then you need to find something else. And how do you find something else? Just do random things. Find a new hobby.
So is that what you do when you're feeling or thinking in an impure way?
Not necessarily. Like I'll do that to keep myself from like being in my feelings of maybe sadness or loneliness. But like sexual impurity is still a negative feeling in the context of it not being pure. Like something that you're combating, something that you're struggling with. I'll put myself in positions where like I am so occupied with doing this, those thoughts don't even come to mind. Whole day goes by, I don't even realize that I won the victory that I just did because I've been so focused on just literally doing things that are filled with purpose and productivity and are helping me grow in a healthy way. It's not even me focusing on not doing this thing, not thinking this way. It's me focusing on things that are going to grow me. And I so happen to just not be in a place where I'm thinking of those things by default. But I guess what I could say is somebody once said to me, people won't say no to something unless they find something bigger to say yes to. So maybe you're like still looking for something.
What is your yes?
My yes is literally thinking about my future and protecting my purity from for just my life in general.
Say that impure thoughts, like in regards to sexual immortality, you would say that would you say that leads to something? Leads to like, what would you say is the consequences of it?
Of impurity?
Yeah. And the thing is, purity is so broad that it can lead to
I think that like any purity, though, the consequence of living impurely, thinking impurely, involving yourself in just impure ways, it just leads you further away from what you were always meant to be. Like it's just a distraction. It's a road bump. Like if you let it, because sure, like God has complete power and he has a plan for your life, but like he gives us this free will to decide like if we're willing, like how far we're willing to go with it. And like he understands, he's not like confused by our struggles and our impurities. Like first off, I just want to say everyone has impurities, but it's just the idea of like, do you want to continue or do you want to like grow from it? It's like you're making that decision and God will lead you. He will continue to make you who you were created to be. But like if you're nonchalant about it, like if you're like the prodigal son saying, hey, I just kind of want to go my own way and do my own thing. Because here's the thing, the prodigal son was impure before he left. he left because he was impure, because he was like, oh, well, my way is going to be better. Let me leave. He didn't become impure after he left. He was impure already, but that didn't mean the father didn't love him. He knew.
Yeah.
He knew. For those who have read this part of the Bible, he knew like who he was, because even the older son who stayed behind, he was like, I mean, you're gonna let this guy in who like slept with prostitutes in your household like come back, and he took like half of your fortune and stuff or whatever, like you're gonna let him come back and we're gonna like kill this cow for him? And the father was like, brother, you shouldn't, or son, you shouldn't, like, you should be celebrating with him, you know, like.
Yeah, I think
God
it's
loves
that.
yeah.
I think it's the turnaround that makes it significant, and it can
Yeah.
even relate to repentance or the mindset of repentance. But it's the fact that like the turnaround of him coming back and like just going to his father and wanting his father, wanting that home. But if he had, and that's the thing relating it to impurity, if he had continued on his way and if he had never returned, there would be no feast. There would be no celebration because he never came back and admitted his wrongdoing, or he never came back to his father. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's that turnaround, I think, that signifies the act of acknowledging that, yes, I wasn't impure, or yes, I am impure, but I still want you, Father, and I still need you, and I realize now how much I need you. And I think that's the thing where it's like impurity, yes, that's in all of us, but God gives us the opportunity to be pure once again through the process of refinement, and being refined. And mind-boggling, that's a word,
I know.
to me, that through acknowledgement comes change, or through acknowledgement comes purity. Thanks so much for watching. Mad appreciate it. Give it a like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, then I mean, give it a thumbs it down. I don't really care. Whatever. Comment, like, subscribe, do all that jazz or whatever. Follow me on Instagram. Plug. Yeah. Also, I want to say thank you to my boy Nate. What's up, Nate? I love you, dog. Okay, so he made the beat to all of this. I look really good in braids. Like, okay, he made the beat. He made the beat. The background music, and he'll probably be hooking me up with some more, so shout out to him. He's super awesome, and he also has a YouTube channel. Depending on whether I'm lazy or not, I'll tag it below. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you'll see me again. You should, because I'm quarantined and there's not much to do, so I hope to see you again. Have a great week. Jesus loves you. All right, bye.